What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Now, kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. I don't even have to tell y'all what tomorrow is. We've been talking about this potential matchup all year, for months now. For months. Since last year, we've been talking about this matchup. South Carolina, LSU. Let's get it on. Number 9 versus number 1. South Carolina undefeated. LSU, the defending champions. They the champs till they ain't the champs no more. As my boy Junior Battle would say. Listen, this is going to be an instant classic. A mega matchup with the most talent on one basketball court that we've seen all season in the women's college game. Nothing more needs to be said. We need to go ahead but before we do all that, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest and join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
This is a mega matchup. There's a lot of keys to this game. I mean, there's the depth factor. Obviously, South Carolina has shown they have the deeper lineup. The pace of this game. Are they going to play fast? Are those starting 5 from LSU going to wear down? Are they going to get in foul trouble? Who's going to make shots? Perimeter scoring. South Carolina has completely changed a weakness into a strength. Adding shooters to this lineup. On the other side, LSU dominates the glass. And they have two of the best forwards in the game. Versatility. Aggressiveness. They're at home. I don't know, y'all. Whatever happens, though, I'm not calling this matchup an upset. If LSU wins this game, it is not an upset. And I'm stating that claim now. The keys to victory for LSU. Let's take a look. First off, that home crowd has to be ruckus. It's a sold-out game. It's going to be packed. LSU needs their fans. They need to feed off that energy. LSU right now boasting the top offense in the nation, averaging 91.7 points per game. They are second in point differential. They are smacking teams by an average of 30.2 points per game. LSU, we mentioned how they are on that glass. They are third in rebounding in the nation, averaging 47.3 rebounds. The shot making has to be there. We've seen the revelation of Haley Van Lith, and she's going to be one of the X factors in this game. They need her, Michaela Williams, and Flage to show up like they did in their last contest. To win this game, these three players have to make shots. They have to be able to control the tempo of this game. They have to be able to get the bigs involved. They have to be able to take care of the basketball because South Carolina is locking everything up this season. They have to really take the game and leave their fingerprints all over this contest. Right now, they're going to have to make shots, y'all. Because there's not going to be a whole lot of second chance opportunities, I don't believe, with that big front court of South Carolina. They cannot depend on Angel Reese to grab 20 rebounds. Elisa Morrow may struggle a little bit on the glass against these bigs. So they have to make the first shot count. They have to get going on offense. I need a fast start. They have to have a quick start. They have to come out punching South Carolina in the mouth. They have to match that energy. They're at home, so obviously that's somewhat of an edge. Playing on your home court, you know the rims. The crowd is going to be intense. Coach Kim Mulkey says players have to make plays.
Some talent on the floor, and I've always said this. In close games, if it should be a close game, I'm not out-coaching Dawn. Dawn's not going to out-coach me. It's going to be ballers out there making plays, and that'll be fun for all of us to see.
Angel Reese has to be huge. Anissa Morrow has to be huge. Haley Van Lith has to be huge. And she's coming off her best game in an LSU uniform. So you love that she's playing great basketball this time. But they have to play big. They need Flage to be that glue player that she's been all season so far. Just doing all the dirty work, grabbing rebounds, locking up the opposing team's best defender on the best offensive player, the top scoring threat on the perimeter. Flage has taken that challenge. It seems like just about every game this year, they need her to play big. The X factor for LSU though, man, two players that are gonna be coming off the bench. First off, Last Terapoa has to be big. She has to play exceptional in this contest. I think they're going to rely on her to provide that spark off the bench. Like she's one of the only guards that has seen heavy minutes and consistent minutes. They're going to need her to get the offense flowing. When Haley Van Lith comes out of the game, when Flage comes out of the game, when Michaela Williams, who also is another player that has to be exceptional in this contest, Last Terapoa has to come in and run that second unit and also run with the starters, get that offense going, taking care of the basketball and getting those assists, and also defending the basketball as well. They're going to have to deal with Tahina Powpow. They're going to have to deal with Raven Johnson, Malaysia Fulwiley. There's a lot of talent on that South Carolina team they're going to have to contend with just in the backcourt. They're going to need Poa to really initiate some offense and play strong. Like it's going to be a physical contest. This is her first game against USC, against SC, against South Carolina. She hasn't seen any pressure like this right now that South Carolina is bringing. She's a freshman. Mistakes are going to happen. It's just a thing. But looking at it, she's got to play big. Another freshman, just off pure size, just off size alone, they're going to need a Leia Del Rosario to get in there at 6'6" and be a big body down low. I can see her getting some really good minutes in this contest as well. They're going to need her size down low to contend with Camila Cardoso. Straight up. Ashlyn Watkins, Chloe Kitts, like they're gonna need Del Rosario to get out there and bang down low and be big, be physical. They don't necessarily need her to score a whole bunch, but they need her to grab some rebounds and defend, block some shots. They need her size. They're going to rely on that size down there because that front court of South Carolina is big. They're physical. They're aggressive. And they're number one in the nation right now in rebounding overall per game. They are snagging up everything. And it's a balanced effort. Looking at the keys for South Carolina. South Carolina literally just has to come in and play their game. We talked about scoring offense. SC is fourth in the nation with 90.8. They are first in the nation in field goal percentage at 52.6%. And they are first in point differential, beating teams by almost 40, y'all. Their average margin win is 38.6 points per game. You know what I'm saying? They're averaging 48.6 rebounds per game. They have the fourth scoring defense in the nation. They're holding teams to 15.1% from the field. They are leading the nation in blocks as well at 8.9 blocks per game. And they have 5 double-figure scorers. South Carolina has been the most dominant program in the nation so far this year. And since the season, let's just say that. Don Staley has these hoopers locked in. This team is just showing no mercy. They are out here pummeling teams with pressure, the ball pressure, forcing all kinds of turnovers, the depth, the speed, the athleticism. You added in the shooting, the one weakness they had last year. Raven Johnson shooting the rock now. She is not hesitating. You have one of the best three-point shooters in the nation in Tahina Powpow, who's out there lighting it up. Bree Hall out there lighting it up, giving them some great minutes. A guard that's really waited her turn. Good length. Can really knock it down, stretch the floor, and she can get hot. She can get hot. We've seen it. Then, of course, you got Malaysia Fulwiley coming off the bench, the superstar freshman, another point guard, another weapon who can really go off and impact this game and light LSU up with the scoring, with the playmaking. with the pizzazz, with the flash in the front court. Camila Cardoso, Dom. I don't know if they're not going to be able to double her. I tell you that because the shooters are too good. I don't know what Angel Reese is going to have her hands full going 1-on-1. Cardoso averaging 13 points, 10 rebounds, almost 3 blocks per game. We mentioned Pow Pow averaging 12 points, 4 assists. Raven Johnson leading the team with 5 assists. They basically have 2 point guards on the floor at all times. You got Chloe Kitts, 10-6. Just the front court, Cardoso, Kitts, Watkins, Fegan coming out of nowhere. There's so much depth in that front court that they're just going to be able to rotate bodies, and it could wear down that front court for LSU. Looking at it, we mentioned Bree Hall averaging 10 a game. She's a double-figure scorer as well. One of those shooters. She's shooting 48% from the three-point line. Pow Pow shooting 55%. Raven Johnson shooting 40%. Tessa Johnson, a breakout freshman in her last game. She's making some noise, another weapon. And she can shoot the rock as well, shooting the three at 42%. So they're not going to be able to pack the lane. They're not going to be able to really play zone with this team. Angel Reese is going to have to guard Cardoso straight up. Or Del Rosario is going to have to guard Cardoso straight up. And I think that's the matchup they really might have to go with, is putting Del Rosario on Cardoso at some point. She's going to have to really grow up really quick because Cardoso is big down there, physical, a monster. And then you still got to deal with Chloe Kitts, who's super scrappy, super feisty. Love her game as well. She's going to have an impact on this game. Then you got Ashlyn Watkins coming off the bench, averaging almost 3 blocks a game. Her and Cardoso are sending everything back. This South Carolina team is coming into hostile territory, and they're undefeated. You know what I'm saying? LSU has lost 2 games already. We know they got their doors blown off first game of the season to a very talented Colorado squad. Then they got upset by Auburn, and they won their last 2. They're coming in, and honestly, before the Auburn game, they were on a really nice win streak. Auburn humbled them, and they've come out firing ever since with 2 dominant back-to-back wins. And we're seeing LSU really hit that stride. These players these starters are really, really hitting their stride and building that chemistry with one another, playing a lot of minutes together, and getting that chemistry, man, which is huge. Getting those reps. That's the big thing. And this is going to be a major, major contest. Both these players are going to come out. We've seen the clip of Angel Reese saying they were going to be ready. Raven Johnson had big respect for Angel Reese, too. We know the ties are close with these programs. Guys, this isn't a must-win game for anybody, and this game isn't really deciding anything. But for LSU, it would be nice for Coach Kim Mulkey to get the monkey off her back. She still hasn't beaten South Carolina. They won a natty, but they didn't have to go through Columbia to do it. And then on the other side, Coach Don Staley still holding the crown in the SEC for the most part, still being the most dominant program for the last several years. LSU is still feeling like the new kids on the block, but they do have a natty. And like I said, they are the champs, so they aren't the champs anymore. But this is going to be big-time players. I mean, the perimeter scoring has to be there for both. I'm excited to see who's going to match up with Michaela Williams. Big guard, can get it off the dribble, create, make big shots. I think she has a huge game. I think she's going to live up to the hype she has every year, every game. Every game that they needed a big bucket, she's been the one for the most part that they go to. She hasn't been shaking really so much. She hasn't looked like a freshman really at all. She looks like she's built for this. They're going to need her to make some shots. They're going to need Haley Van Lith to be Haley Van Lith. I want to see her be extremely aggressive in this game. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be coming after her. Pow Pow's going to be coming after her. That's going to be a really good matchup. These starting fives match up so well. The bench, though, LSU's going to have to get something from that bench, y'all, because we've seen what South Carolina's bringing off the bench, and they could play 10 players. Coach Staley could play 10 deep, and they could really potentially wear LSU starters down, because those starting 5 play big minutes. I'm talking about Kim Mulkey out there playing them like Tom Thibodeau, riding those starters, and we haven't really seen a whole lot from the bench. We've seen Del Rosario come out and play some big minutes. She's made an impact, and I definitely think they're gonna have to rely on her size. I mean, seriously, she's gonna have an impact, and this is a perfect coming out game for her, honestly, because she's gonna have to bring her A game. Because those South Carolina bigs are physical, they're experienced, they're skilled, they can pass it. If they try to bring double teams, they will find the shooters, and LSU will get lit up. Now, this is the first matchup. This is an early matchup, and there aren't a whole lot of players on that are playing in this game that were on these rosters or that were playing big minutes in this game last year. South Carolina did hit the transfer portal, but a lot of those players have been there and just waited their turn, so they're familiar. They know what's going on. They know what this game means. And on the other side, you got the transfers coming into the SEC playing for the first time. Haley Van Lith, Lisa Morrow, Michaela Williams, a freshman. Angel Reese and Flage already been through this. Haley Van Lith coming in. Like, this is their first shot, really, I'm saying, to see what South Carolina is about, man. So it's exciting to see just the anticipation. And I think the game is going to live up to the hype. You know what I'm saying? I think the PMAX Center is going to be rocking. LSU is going to be a hot ticket. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen them tickets was going for thousands of dollars. I think this is going to break the Ohio State Iowa record, I think, in my opinion, for the most watched women's game this year. I think it's going to be special. The stars have to perform under those bright lights. We got two great coaches and two championship level coaches, two former champions and current champion in Kim Mulkey that have won titles, won on the biggest stage, built programs from the ground up. We've seen it. Coach some of the game's greats, and now they go head to head again. And these are two great coaches, two great programs, two programs that are familiar with each other, very familiar. A lot of these players played on Team USA together. Some of them played against, like Camila Cardoso played for Brazil. Some, what I'm saying, they competed against each other. And now we're seeing it on the main stage. I mean, I'm just so excited for so many different things. Who's going to win the turnover battle? Both teams have struggled with free throws at times. Free throws are going to be crucial. Everything is going to matter in this game. But I think Angel Reese has been so dominant this season. This is going to be her toughest matchup. It's going to be a lot of size she's going to have to deal with. She's not going to be the tallest player on the floor. And yeah, she's winning against bigs, but not as good as Camila Cardoso right now. Like her, Chloe Kitts, they're going to make things harder on Nisa Morrow. I think Morrow is going to really have to get going from the perimeter and stretch the floor and knock down shots because those easy paint looks are not going to be there all night. I just don't see it. There's too much size. South Carolina's blocking all types of shots. And with this game, it feels like it's gonna be high scoring, right? But then you also look at South Carolina's defense, how that will impact things. This will be the best offense they've seen. LSU's gonna score points. That's just what they do. But is South Carolina gonna be out there forcing turnovers? We've seen these LSU guards be careless with the basketball so far this season at times. It's gotten better. They tightened it up. But we've seen them get sloppy and turn the ball over. We've seen South Carolina be horrible at the free throw line, like we said. It's going to be about possession. You're going to have to win each possession. That's really how this game's going to be. It's going to be like a chess match out there, honestly. And again, LSU winning this game is not an upset. Let's just make that clear. This is not an upset if LSU wins this game at home. The defending champs at home, you know what I'm saying, top 10 team, you know what I'm saying? 3 of the top, 5-10 scores in the SEC on one team. You know what I'm saying? Angel Reese still just continues to dominate. Anissa Morrow continues to be the most consistent player. Michaela Williams. I love that Haley Van Lith. I caught some flack over that Haley Van Lith video. I just asked the question. I said, did she make a mistake transfer? I personally don't think so. I think it's too early to tell. But I didn't say yay or nay. I just gave my thoughts. And then she went out there and had her best game against Arkansas, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? She looked comfortable. She's still figuring out that point guard position. This is different from her responsibilities at LSU. But she's averaging a career high in assists. We're seeing it. She's making that transformation into that lead point guard, that lead guard that initiates the offense, controls the tempo, has the keys to the ignition. We're seeing Haley Van Lith really develop and harness a whole nother skill set. And yeah, I'm not expecting her to be the number one option, but we see that she can go out and get 20 when she needs to. And this might be one of them games where they need 25 and 5 from her. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need a little 20 piece from Michaela Williams. They're going to need Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow to be dominant on the glass. They're going to need those freshmen to grow up. On the other side, South Carolina, we keep mentioning the depth. That's what sticks out the most. The depth, the depth, the depth. Can LSU make up for that, or can they rely on some role players? I doubt they're just going to be throwing players that haven't been played into the fire, but hey, you never know. You never know. Coach Mulkey always got an ace up her sleeve. But this South Carolina team has just been dominant. This is one of Don Staley's best teams ever. I think we can all look at the numbers and see that. The depth, top to bottom. I caught some flack because I said South Carolina didn't really have any weaknesses. They still haven't shown us any weaknesses. Y'all tell me what the weaknesses are because I'm watching them every week and I don't see none. Like what? Y'all tell me. Holler at me in the comments. Let me know what the weaknesses are because they have completely transformed into. They got some sharpshooters on the perimeter. They didn't lose anything down low. They're still banging down there, getting whatever they want to paint. They got those slashers, Bree Hall, Malaysia Full Wiley, Raven Johnson, Tessa Johnson in the fold down. They got slashers that can get to the cup. You know what I'm saying? They've got smart guards who can initiate the offense. As long as Raven Johnson and Pow are out there, you have 2 point guards that can either shoot the basketball and score and look for their own shots, or can set up the offense and get others involved and make things easier for them. Get those players in their sweet spots. That's tough to deal with. That's a whole lot of playmaking to deal with. I'm just saying, man. But South Carolina's going to have to play defense because LSU has more firepower than any team they've seen this season. This is going to be, we talk about the depth. The starting five, they don't play a whole lot of people at LSU. That starting five is legit. And they're going to need all of them to score in double figures and do what they do. But they're going to be feeding off that home crowd. Don't underestimate the home team, the home fans. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be loud in there. And it's not going to be a friendly crowd for South Carolina. They are not trying to see South Carolina leave out of Baton Rouge with a W, straight up. I'm just saying. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited to see the matchup, though. I think this is just going to be high-level bump, for real. And this game is not a make or break for any of these teams. It's January for crying out loud, people. This is no make or break game, but it is a nice first test, the first look at both teams. But these teams will look totally different in 2 months. If they match up again for the SEC championship, these are going to be 2 different teams that we see. They're going to be a lot further along. I think LSU is going to make some major strides. But this is a game that could be a statement game. This could be a statement game for LSU to really, you know what I'm saying? We to get that Auburn takes all out of our mouths because we still kind of looking back at that. I'm just saying. So if they can get this win against South Carolina, we're gonna be looking at LSU different. We're going to be looking at them real different. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments about everything. Holler at your boy. Let me know. Give me predictions. Y'all see I didn't make one. I know better. I ain't setting myself up for that. But y'all let me know the predictions. Holler at your boy. And make sure you hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. I'm Brandon Blakeney. This has been Live with Brandon Blakeney. Until next time, we out.